I used to think that emotional distance creeps in slowly, like fog rolling across a quiet street. But the truth is, it happens in moments you don't even notice until it's already too late. At first, it was small things. My partner coming home late from work, distracted at dinner, falling asleep with the TV on instead of talking like we used to. I didn't take it personally. Life gets busy, people drift. I told myself this was just a phase, but then the silence became louder than any argument we ever had. I'd try to talk about my day and get a distracted nod, a text here and there during lunch. Sex turned from connection into routine, then into avoidance. I found myself staring at the wall after they'd gone to bed, wondering why I felt so alone while lying next to the person I loved. That's when she showed up again. Maya. We'd worked together years ago, back when everything in my life felt simpler. She messaged me on Instagram one night. Just a casual, "Hey, remember me?" And I did. Too well, it started harmless. Old memories, catching up, shared jokes from a time that felt like a different life. We laughed about stupid office gossip, inside jokes only we would remember. And it felt good, really good, to be seen again, to be heard. She remembered things about me that even my partner didn't seem to care about anymore. At first, I didn't think anything of it, but our chats got longer. She started texting late at night, asking questions like, "Are you really happy? And do you ever miss how things used to feel?" I'd lie and say I was fine, but deep down I knew I wasn't. I told myself I was just talking to an old friend, that I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I started hiding the messages, turning my phone screen away when I typed back, deleting threads. I wasn't stupid. I knew what I was doing, even if I pretended I didn't. It was emotional cheating, and I was already in too deep before anything physical even happened. The worst part, I liked how she made me feel. Maya listened. She flirted, gently at first, then bolder. "You always look better in real life than you did in photos," she wrote once. I read that text 4 times before I finally replied. That little jolt of adrenaline, of being wanted again, it became addictive. At home, everything started to feel colder. I stopped initiating conversations. I avoided intimacy. And when my partner finally asked if something was wrong, I lied straight to their face. "Just tired," I said. "Just stressed." But that wasn't it. I was looking for something, attention, validation, maybe just escape. And I knew exactly where I was getting it. I didn't cross the line. People call her the Ice Queen, Catherine Steele, CEO, early 40s, worth millions. Everything about her screams control, posture, tone, decisions. She doesn't raise her voice because she never needs to. One glance and the entire room aligns. But power doesn't just appear, it's built, usually from pain. Years ago, she wasn't like this. Back when she was just Catherine, not Miss. Steele, back when she laughed, made dinner at 9 p.m. with music playing too loud. Back when love still meant something. His name was David. Charming, warm, the kind of man who made people feel safe. They started the company together, young, ambitious, in love. She skipped holidays with family to build spreadsheets at midnight, sacrificed time, energy, her body clock, thinking it was for something real. Then came the lies. It started small, missed calls, half-truths, new cologne. Catherine saw the signs but ignored them. She had built her life on trusting him. She didn't want to tear it down. Until the day she walked into her office early, papers in hand, only to find David laughing with her assistant, Lena, her junior, the woman she mentored, trusted, promoted. His hand was on Lena's waist. They didn't see Catherine at first, but when they did, neither looked guilty, just annoyed. David said he didn't want to lie anymore, said Catherine had changed, that she wasn't soft anymore, as if strength was something to punish. He left with Lena that same week. No apology, no goodbye, just a hollow silence in the spaces he used to fill. Catherine didn't cry where anyone could see. She didn't take time off. She fired Lena, buried the heartbreak, and doubled the company's revenue within 2 years. That was the trade. Emotion for success, love for power. People assumed she was heartless, but she wasn't. She just couldn't afford to break again. She learned to keep her tone cold, her meetings shorter, her distance wide. She didn't do small talk, didn't attend weddings, didn't ask about anyone's kids. She told herself emotions were liabilities, weakness. But something cracked today. The moment she saw that little girl, Emma, the way she sat quietly, holding a crayon like it was the most important thing in the world. The shape of her face, her soft curls, her eyes, they looked too familiar. It wasn't recognition, it was memory. A version of herself she'd buried. Something about the child pulled a thread loose she'd tied years ago. She remembered what she wanted once, a child, a family, a partner who didn't lie. Instead, she got betrayal wrapped in ambition and a cold corner office. She should have said something to the man, Jake, should have scolded him for breaking policy, for bringing a child to work. But she couldn't speak. Not then. Because for the first time in 5 years, something inside her wasn't frozen. It was shaking. She sat in her office, door closed, hands trembling slightly. Emma. That name. The gentleness in it. She hadn't said a child's name out loud in years, and for reasons she couldn't explain, she wanted to say it again. I didn't plan on bringing my daughter to work that day, but when the babysitter bailed last minute and Emma woke up sniffling, there wasn't another option. I couldn't afford to miss this job, not after everything it took to get here. 3 years ago, my wife walked out, said she wasn't happy. What she really meant was she found someone else, my best friend. I caught them together in the apartment we used to share. I didn't yell, I didn't cry, I just picked up our daughter and walked away. Since then, it's been me and Emma against the world. I worked nights at a gas station while studying during the day. Took every side gig I could find until finally, someone took a chance on me. A corporate role, entry-level but promising. I was finally climbing out of survival mode. I wasn't going to screw this up. So that morning, I packed Emma's favourite snacks, a small colouring book, and prayed no one would notice the 6-year-old curled up behind my desk. She stayed quiet, always a good kid. Smarter than most adults I knew, kind too. She didn't complain, didn't whine, just asked if she could draw me a picture for my desk. It was almost noon when I saw the shadow pass by my cubicle. I didn't need to look up. The entire floor tensed the second she entered. Catherine Steele, the CEO, elegant, sharp, ice in her veins. People whispered that she fired someone for sneezing during a quarterly meeting. No one crossed her. Most barely made eye contact. I held my breath and pulled Emma closer, but then nothing. Just silence. Then I heard her voice, not cold, not sharp, just quiet. "She yours?" I turned slowly, nodding before I even found the words. "Yes, Mum. I'm sorry, it's just her babysitter cancelled. I didn't want to miss work. She held up her hand, not to silence me, just to stop. Like she couldn't hear more, her eyes locked on Emma, who was staring up at her with a soft smile, like she wasn't afraid at all. Catherine didn't say another word. She just looked. And for a second I thought she might cry. That couldn't be right. The Ice Queen. Cry? But there it was. The glisten in her eye, the tremble in her lip. One quick blink, and it was gone. The walls were back up. She turned and walked away, not a single word more. No write-up, no HR notice, just gone. I exhaled, unsure what just happened. Emma looked up at me, tugged my sleeve. "Daddy," she whispered, "why did the fancy lady look sad?" I didn't have an answer, but deep down, I felt it too. Something cracked in that moment, something behind her perfect posture and tailored suits, something that had nothing to do with me, and everything to do with the little girl holding my hand. And for the first time since I took this job, I wasn't afraid of losing it. I was afraid of what would happen next.